so in this video, I'm talking about how to make a very simple Hello World program in C. So it's a very basic introduction video. So what I have here is I've opened up a C file in my code editor. You can do the same on your computer. This video is not going to talk about like how to install a code editor or whatever. But I will say though that I've installed Visual Studio Code and I've installed the Visual Studio Build Tools 2022. So if you don't have a code editor right now, I've installed these two things. That should be good to get you started. But anyway, back to the topic, which is creating a Hello World program. Very simple one in C. So first things first, we're gonna have to include our standard input-output library. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna type in the pound symbol or hashtag, number symbol, whatever you want to call it, and we're just gonna type in include, right? Include. Then in our arrow, whatever you want to call these things, greater than, less than, greater than signs, sure. We'll write stdio.h, and that is our standard input-output library header, right? Std standard io input output, and then .h just a header file extension. So alright, we've included all our functions that we're going to use to print a hello world message. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create our main function, right? We're going to type in int main, and we're going to have some curly braces. So basically what this does is that this int tells that the main function right here is supposed to return an integer. And now generally it's supposed to return 0. You're supposed to like return 0 to tell the operating system that your app didn't blow up and stuff. But we'll talk about that later after we wrote all our code. But that's what this int does. This main, well, this just indicates what our main function is. The program execution begins and ends here in this function. These parentheses normally are supposed to take in function arguments, because if you think about it like in math, if you have like y equals f of x, you're supposed to give to the function f, and it'll spit out some number. But here we have empty parentheses, empty arguments. We don't need any arguments for our main function, at least not right now. So let's see, we went over int main, the parentheses. All right, these curly braces. What these curly braces do is that this basically define, where our code for the main function is gonna be, right? It just tells our compiler where to find all this stuff for the main function. So we went over all this. We went over all this, and now we are going to print our hello world message. So I'm going to use the puts function, right? P-U-T-S. So we're going to type that in, and that basically means put string, right? Put string to the console, print something out. And then after typing that, we have our little brace, our parentheses, right? And within the parentheses, we'll have our hello world string. So we have our quotes right here, because the string is going to be in quotes, and we just type in hello, comma, world. And then in C is one of those semicolon languages. You have to end every single line with a semicolon. And you can actually see that on this tab, before I had the semicolon, it was red. And if I go to the problems tab in our Visual Studio Code, it says expected a semicolon. So if you continue to program in C, you'll get a lot of those errors from time to time, but always remember the semicolon. Okay, so we have our puts function, we've printed hello world, and now we have to return 0. That tells the operating system that our app exited successfully and it did not blow up. If you return some other number, I mean, really, in this day and age, it really shouldn't matter, but and the main function is supposed to return an integer, will return 0. Usually that indicates app success. So this is all our code, and for the final test, let us go run this code and see what it prints out. Hopefully it should print out hello world. And wait for this, and look at that, hello world. So very simple program in C. If you want to learn more about this language, follow for more. I'll try to make some more tutorials on this. And if you like this video, feel free to like. If you did not like it, feel free to dislike. But if you do, tell me what I can improve on in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is.